Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wake the hell up, turn the volume way up, because we've got our last NFL Divisional Breakdown episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cobold. My guy, Max Faulkner, getting sweaty, pitting out over there. And making his debut, my guy from St. John, Indiana, T-Bone Malone, Trevor Bradkey. T-Bone, what's up, brother?
Nothing, man. I'm happy to be on. Finally made my first appearance. It feels great. Feels all warm and fuzzy already. I can't wait.
Hell yeah. A lot of guys still waiting to make their debut from our league. Max, what do you think about your childhood neighbor coming on?
How about it? You know, we grew up together from the days of us wearing Tyrannosaurus Rex sneakers and talking about our toys that we got from Christmas. Now here we are talking about fantasy football in different states, sadly, but that's okay. Glad that you're on, Trevor. And we got a lot of things to talk about. Trevor is considered the oracle, everyone, in our fantasy football league. He somehow always figures out how to not only make the playoffs, but make it to a damn championship game. Because how many championships does he have? 3? How many you got, Trevor?
The team's been to 4 the very first year. The guy whose team I had, he went to a championship, so I don't count that one. But I've been to 3 and I've won 2 of them.
Well, two is up there for our league. Definitely going into our 11th year. Definitely very consistent franchise from T-Bone Malone over here. Definitely.
The organization puts a lot of work in, and we're just happy that work pays off. You know.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into the NFC South, boys. If nobody knew, this is the last one. Looking back at last year, this was a toss-up of a division, really a queef division. The Buccaneers won this thing at 9-8. The Saints lost the tiebreaker to them at 9-8. Falcons were 7-10, and damn it, the Panthers were worst team in the NFL, 2-15. Max, any comments about those standings from last season?
Yeah, I mean, we said that this is kind of like a queef division, and we think that anyone can win it. I said that the Falcons were going to win last year with the Bijan hype and all that. He had a great year. I mean, decent year anyway. But the quarterback situation sucked. Now that tide has changed because Kirk Cousins is way better than I don't even know what the guy Marcus Mariota and frickin' Desmond Ritter, right? Right.
Yeah. So, Desmond Ritter, I forgot where he went, but I think today or recently he just got dropped.
Arizona, he was in Arizona.
Yeah, they dropped him. So I mean, I didn't hate the guy, but it's not a good look.
No,
he's a queef. Trevor, any comments from the standings from last year? Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
Fuck the Falcons. They're a solid team, but you just not my thing. Sure. I'm riding high on the Bucks. Baker Mayfield, ever since his All-State commercials, he's won a place in my heart. So, they did good last year, and I think it's looking up. So NFC South's kind of a queef division, but I don't think so for long, man. I think they're turning it around.
Okay.
Let's get into the quarterback position here, fellas. I might surprise you at the top, but I am going Bryce Young. I see a lot of improvement. Dave Canales, the new head coach 2 years ago. Geno Smith, the comeback player of the year. Dave Canales leaves Seattle, goes to Tampa Bay. Geno Smith's a queef last year. Baker Mayfield has a career season. Dave Canales leaves, comes to Carolina. Bryce Young, we're not going to draft him, boys. We're not going to draft any of these quarterbacks, but no. Bryce Young is going to be way better than he was last year. Then I'm going Captain Queef Cousins coming off that Achilles. I like that pickup for Atlanta. Baker Mayfield, I'm putting him in third. Before last year, he was never better than QB 16. This guy's a queef for his whole career. Derek Carr, I'm going last for the Saints. He didn't look like he had a lot of juice last year. Max, you agree or disagree with me?
I disagree with you. I know that you have a jersey of Bryce Young in your closet, and
a lot of jersey talk.
Too many jerseys for you, Cole Breezy. I still don't think it's going to be Carolina's year. Improvement, no. Yes, a little bit of improvement, maybe a win or two. Extra from last season, but I am not jumping out of my seat about Bryce Young. I got Kirk Cousins. Okay, Kirk Cousins has more weapons. Okay, he has Drake London. He has Kyle Pitts. Bijan Robinson's going to catch the ball in the backfield too. So you got to be excited about that. At number 2, I am going Baker. I am going to go Baker. Are you kidding me? I cannot believe this guy squeezed the Bucs into the playoffs last year. You got Rachaad White, who catches the ball in the backfield. You got Mike Evans, who consistently is one of the top wide receivers in the game. We just keep on talking about him, saying that this won't be the year that he's under 1,000 yards. Chris Godwin's no sleeper as well. Baker Mayfield has turned his career around. He's just you're not drafting him, but decent. He's making good decisions now. Bryce Young is number 3 for me. Yes, I like him because Derek Carr sucks. Simple as that. I, other than that, whatever. That's all. That's all I got.
T-Bone, give us your quarterback rankings here.
Kirk Cousins goes first. I don't have much faith in him. I think that, the whole allegedly he told her there was some conspiring of him going to the Falcons before it was like legally allowed. But he is Kirk Cousins. I get it. He was on the Netflix show Quarterback. So, I mean, he's got to be one. It's tight, but I'm going to go Bryce Young, number 2. I don't think the Panthers are amazing this year, but I think they're young. I think I'm excited to see them. So I think Bryce Young is finally going to get a real chance to show what he can do instead of whatever last year was. My man, Baker Mayfield, number 3, real close to that number 2. I love Todd Bowles. I think that under him, Baker Mayfield, traditionally, I think Baker Mayfield, like kind of mountains and valleys all the time. He has a great season, then he sucks. I think he's breaking that this year. I think he's getting old. He needs to be consistent or he's going to lose his job.
Yeah.
So I think, and then Derek Carr, we all know, sucks. Now you're nothing to say about that. Yeah, I would put him 5th on this list if there was more than 4 teams in that.
Nobody's got anything good to say about Derek Carr tonight.
He looks cool in that shooter sleeve. He looks cool. For a white dude, he looks pretty cool. That's it. Nothing about his play. But
it looks like he puts on eyeshadow. Whatever's going on with those eyes. He put eyeshadow on like Batman around, raccoon type of eyes.
Maybe. The running back position here for the NFC South. I'm going to Atlanta. Bijan Robinson. He's my number 1 running back, boys. I love him. Got a lot of juice. Then I'm going New Orleans. I'm an Alvin Kamara guy. We all know that. 3-game suspension last year. After that, from weeks 4 through 15, Kamara was RB2. Weeks 4 through 15. Interesting stat. The Saints last year became the first team since 2000 to not have a running back with a 20-plus yard run. Not a lot of juice in the backfield. Not a lot of juice. Then I'm going to Tampa Bay. Rashad White had a great year. Bucky Irving. And then Carolina in the basement there with Chuba and Brooks and Miles Sanders if he gets anything. But I'm going Carolina in the basement. Max, agree or disagree?
Completely agree with you. Is this the year that Alvin Kamara drops off, though? He's 29 years old. Not old. It's not old. And, I don't know. Last season he had 74 catches, which is, I don't think so. I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't think he's going to drop off this year because he catches the ball in the backfield. He catches the ball more than he runs it. Well, like handoff is what I mean, because obviously he catches and runs. So, if anything, maybe just switch him to the wide receiver position. Just put him out there. Why not?
T-Bone, how's your running back rankings look there?
It's the same as yours. I mean, the Falcons, Tyler Algier as a backup is legit. Yeah, I don't have much faith in Alvin Kamara, but he's still solid. Jamal Williams, I dig. Bucks, Rashad White. I've seen a lot of stuff. He's supposed to be really good and step up this year. I hope so. Going for the Bucks. And the Carolina Panthers. Yuck.
Chuba.
Yeah. Chuba Hubbard. He's a great name. I just wish he could back it up with anything. And Miles Sanders had a year or 2 in the sun, but man, that sun set a long time ago. So
yeah.
The wide receiver position for the NFC South, I'm going Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 1,000 yards every season. Chris Godwin is a great number 2. Then I'm going New Orleans. Chris Olave might have a breakout 3rd-year season here. Shaheed, he's a little banged up. We'll see. Then I'm going Atlanta. Drake London, we've been waiting. Number 8 overall pick, we've been waiting. Darnell Mooney, we'll see what goes on with him. And then I'm going Carolina in the basement again. Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette, Adam Thielen, wide receiver 17 last year. Let's not sleep. Adam Thielen had a good year. But I'm going Carolina in the basement. Max, agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And the only reason I like the Bucks at number 1 is because the combo of Chris Godwin as well. Chris Godwin is no slouch. Okay, let's keep that in mind. But Mike Evans is going to get you 10+ touchdowns every single year. It's unbelievable. 1,010 touchdowns. Chris Olave, number 2, no doubt about it. Drake London, is this the year for him? Is it?
Could be.
It's going to be his best season. It's got to be. It's got to be. He finally has someone to throw it to. It's got to be.
I hope so.
And then I don't even know who is. Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen. Deontay Johnson has been known for the guy that is a decent wide receiver who never scores a touchdown. So I think
one season got a goose. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, right. Hopefully he can boost those numbers up this year. I'm not betting on 8 to 10 touchdowns. I'm betting on maybe 3 or 4. That's all I'm thinking.
Deontay Johnson, 25 career touchdowns in 77 games. So 1 in every 3. T-Bone, give us your wide receiver rankings here for the division.
As long as they're healthy, I agree. The Bucks are the best. Mike Evans, he's a talented guy, but he just wants those 1,000 yards. I'm afraid if he does well early, he's going to check out by like week 10, and that's going to hurt. But yeah, I mean, you can't argue with results. He's legit. Chris Godwin, if he's healthy, he's the man. Deontay Johnson, I do want to say, not going to draft him. Fantasy wise, he's irrelevant, but I think he's the man. The way I don't know about Jordan Love, but I trust the Packers that they know what's going on. Deontay Johnson worked with Mike Tomlin. I think he's the man. He wasn't in a sexy offense. He didn't have, I don't think he had, if he had had a better quarterback, a better whatever, he'd be much better. I think he's a talented guy, and I think he's going to make the Panthers receiving room much, much better. So I think they're going to make a big jump this year because Deontay Johnson is the man. And I think this is the year he finally kind of gets out of that no touchdown thing. I think he's going to be decent this year.
Sounds like he's on your team, Trevor.
Man, if I get like 5 or 6 injuries, definitely, yeah.
I'm definitely in the middle here on Deontay Johnson between you guys, but I think I lean more Trevor's side. The tight end position here in the NFC South, outside the first guy, I don't know about this position here, but I am going Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
just like Drake London, best quarterback Kyle Pitts has ever had. 1,000 yards as a rookie tight end. Not many guys can say that. Sam Laporta can't say that from last year. He was tight end 1. So we'll wait and see here on Kyle Pitts in year 4. Then I'm going Taysom Hill. I heard they're not going to fuck around with him as a quarterback. He's going to be playing a lot of running back, a lot of tight end. So Taysom Hill is going to be able to get his hands on the ball a lot. I don't know if he's a draftable player. I don't know. We'll see. Cade Otton third, Jatavion Sanders, the rookie from Texas, 4th for the Carolina Panthers. I got the Panthers in the basement in 3 of these positions. Yeah. Max, tight end position for you.
Same thing. The only guy you're drafting is Kyle Pitts, and I'm not even excited about Kyle Pitts just because, last year I drafted him, and it was just so disappointing. So I'm out on him this year, but he is a guy you're going to draft other than that. I know you like Taysom Hill a lot, Cobrizi. I know you do. He's going to get picked up. He'll be picked up soon.
Not when I have Kamara, I don't like him. Not when I had Kamara, but last year I didn't have Kamara, so yeah. T-Bone, give us your tight end rankings there.
Again, same thing. Kyle Pitts, number 1. I think he's going to do real good. I think he's young. I think he's got a good quarterback. I think again, I hate the Falcons, but man, I think they're going to be clicking. I have no love for Taysom Hill. I don't get it at all. I mean, if you dig him, I hope he does well, but like, I don't have any faith in him. Again, I don't have any faith in the Saints. Yeah. I think the Saints are, I don't know if I'm spoiling this, potentially bottom of the NFC South. I don't get what's going on. So yeah, down with them. Cade Otton, I don't know much about him. He's on the Bucks. I think he'll do decent. And yeah, again, the Panthers pretty much at the bottom.
Yeah. Let's get into our biggest queefs and sleepers for the NFC South. I'll lead us off here, fellas. I'm going a guy that had a breakout season last year. Tampa Bay running back Rachaad White. He was running back 4 last year. Tied for 2nd in the NFL in carries. He had 64 receptions, which was 4th at the running back position. 549 receiving yards, was 3rd at the running back position. But this guy relied on a huge amount of volume. There was nobody else there. Chase Edmonds, he wasn't playing. He relied on a huge amount of volume, Rachaad White did, and he was super inefficient with it. 3.64 yards per carry for Rachaad White last year. That was the lowest for a top 15 running back, fantasy running back over the last 5 years. Bucky Irving, selected in the 4th round from Oregon, is a pass-catching back. That's what this guy does. Rachaad White's his pass-catching numbers are coming down this year. And I've mentioned it plenty of times. Dave Canales, he leaves. He goes to Tampa. We saw what happened to Seattle when Dave Canales leaves Seattle and goes to Tampa. I expect Tampa to come down a little bit this year because of that. Right now, Rachaad White, he's going in the mid-4th round. Mid-4th round on ESPN. That's too high for me, boys. That's too high. I think he gets less volume this year, and the team isn't as good as it was last year. But Rachaad White, he could surprise me, boys. He could be top 10 again. I'm going to say that. He could be top 10 again. But right now, I'm not drafting Rachaad White in the mid-4th round. T-Bone, what's your thoughts on Rachaad White there? And then give us your biggest queef of this division.
I like Rachaad White. He's a guy, again, I'd consider drafting him. I think he's good. He reminds me of like a Breece Hall and old Alvin Kamara, just like catching run. Like there's so much value that you add that you have to play him. You have to pick him. Like, I mean, even if it's a flex, like, you're good. Even if you're going to get 20 looks a game, I mean, there's not many people that can guarantee that. So definitely agree with that. My queef, I hate to do this because I am kind of I take it back. I don't hate to do this. Fucking the entire wide receiver room in New Orleans, Queef City,
Yes.
the Big Easy. How about the Big Queefy? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, Chris Olave, I get it. He's sexy, young. Yeah, he's a flashy guy. I get. Other than that, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. They don't even have a quarterback that can throw to him. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Alvin Kamara is the second best wide receiver on the team, and 3, 4, and 5, there's a gap. So, old Dunzo though.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kamara could definitely be the number 2 option there. Rashid Shaheed is a little banged up right now, so we'll see about that room. Max, give us your thoughts on both of our queef picks, Rachaad White and the Saints wide receiver room.
Completely agree with Trevor. Don't draft any of the New Orleans Saints receivers. He's Derek Carr.
Olave?
Oh, I'm sorry. Olave. Sorry. Olave is good, but it doesn't matter for us because he's a keeper. So I always put that into effect. Sorry, everybody.
Surprising keeper.
It's a good keep.
I didn't think of him.
No, I don't know who else he had. But anyway. As far as Rachaad White goes, Cobrizi, this guy's 25 years old. And I mean, yeah, he's still very, very young. How many catches did he have last year? Are we kidding? He had over 900 rushing yards with
fourth at the running back position with 64 receptions.
64 catches. My
fourth
goodness.
At the running back position. That's coming down.
549 yards for 3 touchdowns. And you're talking about that this running back that they decided to take, that he's going to get more catches than Rachaad White, who's proven that he can catch the ball.
I didn't say he was going to get more catches. I'm saying because of him, Rachaad White's getting less catches.
Okay. All right. Well, you're queefing on him. You're not going to get him. Don't worry.
I don't want him.
Good. I'm glad you
don't. You're going to spend a second rounder on him. Second rounder in our draft, 2-keeper league, second rounder.
Yeah.
You spent it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll go. I might even go first round. I'm looking for get your running backs while you can. Get your running backs while you can. You don't need to, Cole Breezy, because you're already kept 2 running backs. So that's probably part of your bias right now. But okay, so my queef. Okay, I am going back to Deontay Johnson. Okay, Deontay Johnson last year. Okay, he had 51 catches for 700 yards. He did have 5 touchdowns. Okay, 51 catches though. He did miss 4 games. He did miss 4 games. Okay, he did miss 4 games. The year before that, 86 catches, 882 yards, 0 touchdowns. He had a big fat goose. Fat goose. I don't know if it gets any better. Okay, I'm not excited about it. Trevor's excited about it, so you can go ahead and have him on your team. I am not excited about Deontay Johnson at all.
T-Bone, why don't you get us right into our sleeper and tell us how excited you are about
Great.
Deontay
Well,
Johnson.
my sleeper is Deontay Johnson.
A lot of Deontay Johnson talk.
Rue bet between you two.
I don't think Max did anything wrong. I think Deontay Johnson, stat-wise, he doesn't jump out off the page. But it's a thing of I like Mike Tomlin a lot. He's worked with Mike Tomlin. He was a great veteran dude for being a pretty young guy. I don't know if this is a breakout, MVP year, probably not. But I think he's going to do good things. I think that because Adam Thielen is a great old mentor. So Deontay Johnson has some mentorship responsibility, but the burden isn't on his shoulders. I think he's in a good spot to kind of be a leader, but also be a little bit of a diva, be a star. I think Bryce Young and Deontay Johnson are going to hook up, and they're going to help each other and help the team move forward. So again, not drafting him early, but for sure, I think Deontay Johnson is worth a look possibly, because I think the story of Deontay Johnson is much bigger than what his career of stats show.
Bryce Young as a rookie for a 2-win Panther team last year. He was able to supply Adam Thielen a wide receiver 17 numbers. So I believe that Deontay Johnson has more juice than Thielen right now. So it's not crazy to call that, Trevor. I'm definitely more on your side, but that's a brew bet between you two. Deontay Johnson for sure. No doubt about it. Max, did you give your sleeper yet?
No, I did not give my
Go ahead and tell us your sleeper.
Sleeper. We are going to go ahead. Let's go to the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm going Chris Godwin, okay? He's healthy again. That's the good news, okay? That 1 year where he tore, what was it, his ACL. That was so disappointing. But let's talk about his last 3 seasons, okay? 2021, he had 98 catches for 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns. 2022, he had 104 catches for over 1,023 yards, only 3 touchdowns. And then last season, he had 83 catches for 1,024 yards, only 2 touchdowns. Now, those 2 touchdowns obviously are regressing, but over 1,000 yards, over 80 catches in all 3 of those seasons. I like this guy. You definitely should go get him. And I think this will be a better year. They're going to have to start throwing the ball a little bit more, not just to Mike Evans. Give it to Chris Godwin for a little bit to get some more touchdowns here. Baker Mayfield. It's going to be a fun division. They're going to have to be chucking it around a little bit. So Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin, pretty solid if you got him in your flex, I think. Pretty solid flex, I would say. My biggest sleeper for the NFC South, boys, we've been shitting on Carolina all day. But I got a little sleeper here. Chuba Hubbard, not Chubba Bubba. Chuba Hubbard. He's only 25 years old. He had 1,135 scrimmage yards last year, fellas. 1,135 scrimmage yards. He was 9th in the NFL in total touches, tied for 5th in first downs. I think we slept on Chuba Hubbard a little bit last year.
Yep.
Everybody was worried about Jonathan Brooks coming in from Texas, the first running back drafted in the NFL draft. Tore his ACL while he was at Texas. He's already been put on the PUP. He's going to miss at least the first 4 games.
Yep.
Miles Sanders, I was juicing about him because he got $25 million, but I'm not worried about Miles Sanders. He's not even playing. So you got Chuba Hubbard here as a starting running back for at least the first 4 weeks. I talked enough about Dave Canales, what he could do, Rachaad White. This could be Chuba Hubbard this year with all those dump downs. Chuba Hubbard is currently going as running back 45 on ESPN in the early 16th, where we're drafting our kickers at, boys. You can get a starting running back in Chuba Hubbard. T-Bone, what do you think about Chuba?
I was sleeping on him for a while, but you made some good points. I didn't keep up with the injury stuff. So, right, again, I talked about volume earlier. If he's guaranteed volume those first couple of weeks, that's a great opportunity to show what you can do. And if there's an easy schedule and he looks good, I think that just secures his spot moving forward. So, I wasn't really thinking of him, but I mean, you painted a pretty good picture. So good for him. I'm high on the Panthers, so I want everyone to do good there. So good for. I'll even call him Chuba now. Respect.
Max, you going to spend an early 16th on a starting running back?
Sure. 16th round? Absolutely. I didn't know he was going that late. I thought, if anything, him being a starting running back, I thought, 13th, 12th, 13th or something. But no, 16th. That's a nice Mr. Irrelevant pick. I like that.
People are sleeping. This is definitely a deep one. Panthers are going to be bad, but last year they were bad too. And this guy was 9th in total touches, over 1,100 scrimmage yards. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in Carolina. Dave Canales, I'm high on him, obviously. Said his name 50 times tonight. Max, break down how these standings are going to finish. Who's winning this thing? Anybody getting a wild card? Break it down.
No wild cards, but who's winning the division? I'm doubling down. I am going the Atlanta Falcons. All right. This is the year. Now with Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk Cousins leading the pack. They finally have a quarterback. I think they're going to do a lot better this year. So I got the Falcons number 1. I do have the Tampa Bay Bucks at a close number 2. It's going to be closer than we think. Saints number 3, Panthers number 4. I think Panthers are still in that rebuilding process. Maybe they can get a top 10 pick, whatever they need to improve their game, maybe some defense or whatnot. But that's what I got. How about you boys?
T-Bone, give us your breakdown there.
Mine's pretty close. I think the Falcons take it, but it is not a runaway. I think the Buccaneers in number 2 could possibly. I kind of don't think it's a wild card, but I think they could give a real good shot if all of our. I know Cobrizi and I are digging the Panthers and those guys. I think if it clicks, they can compete. Oh wait, no, I got my teams confused. Sorry about that. The Bucks. We talked about Godwin and Evans and Rachaad White. I think plus Allstate Baker. I think they can make a run. To be totally honest with you, I think the New Orleans has a legitimate shot to be in last place. If all those pieces in Carolina work together. I mean, it's going to have to be a lot of things going right, but I don't think it's a clear 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 1 and 2 could be a battle, and I think 3 and 4 it could really be a battle for the bottom. So, sorry guys, I think that's me making all these noises. I'm gonna turn that off. I don't even know what I'm doing.
I don't hear it, Trevor.
I don't hear you.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. So New Orleans, before I move on, I can't stress it enough. New Orleans, nothing good to say about them.
Yeah.
Let it know, Big Easy. You find me and you tell me what you think.
Big Easy
suck.
I just met a lady from Baton Rouge today, so she wouldn't like to hear this. A Tiger fan.
Tell her where I live. We'll go at it.
Probably end up making out too.
The Big Easy was my nickname in high school.
Big Easy was the old nickname before T-Bone Malone, huh? My final standing predictions here in the NFC South, I think we're all a little bit different, but we're not different at the top. The Falcons, with the quarterback upgrade, we've been waiting. All these top 10 picks, London, Bijan, and Pitts, all top 10 picks. Finally got these guys at quarterback. I'm excited at what can happen in Atlanta. I might be crazy here, but these teams both might tie. These teams both might have the same record. I'm not going where you think I'm going, but I'm going Saints then Bucks. These teams might have the same record. I'm a little higher on the Saints. Derek Carr, he's a damn queef. We had nothing good to say about the guy, but I got the Saints second, Bucks third. Might just be a tiebreaker situation there. And unfortunately, Panthers are going to be last. They won 2 games last year. So even if they double their wins, triple their wins, they're still probably going to be in the basement of this damn division. Okay?
Yeah.
T-Bone, we really appreciate you coming out here tonight, making your debut, the Oracle in our fantasy league. Anything you got to tell the people before you get out of here about the division, our fantasy league, anything?
No, I just want to say thanks for having me. You know, my organization, we don't play it smart. We definitely don't go based on analytics. We go on gut feelings, and that has led to, like, my first year in the league, we kept Phillip Rivers. That was a bad That was the very first keeper we selected. Wow. So we make mistakes. It happens. But you know what? It's all about gut feelings. I say stats are good, but they're ancillary. Boom, my gut's telling me that the NFC South might be full of queefs, but I think there's going to be a lot of excitement, especially if 2 or 3 of those teams are kind of close and really crappy. I think we're going to get some like college football level excitement towards later in the season. So as much as they suck, I think they're pound for pound are going to be able to provide much, much more excitement than some other good divisions. So, you know,
I think we're all in agreement. The Falcons, only playoff team out of this division. Max, take us home. Get us out of here.
Trevor, with that gut feeling, when we're doing our draft, do you sit on the toilet the entire time? Is there something wrong with digestion that we need to know about?
Well, I can say this. When you sit on the toilet the entire draft, once you get to the double-digit rounds, like I start losing blood flow, so I start making some really bad choices. So what I do is I try to stand every couple rounds, especially if I have first or last pick and there's like a big 18 picks in the middle, I'll definitely get up and just walk around like Winnie the Pooh, shirt on, no pants, let that blood flow. Sometimes I like to get up and do like some toe touches right before a pick, just so everything's firing on all cylinders. Like I said, very superstitious. I'm just as likely to rub the skull of like an animal I found outside than I am to like do any research. So it's worked well for us so far. There are no plans to make better decisions moving forward. So full steam ahead.
Coming from the Oracle himself. Learn, everybody, learn. Trevor, with that red shirt on you're wearing, I'm definitely picturing a Winnie the Pooh situation right now. I don't think any pants are on as you sit on that. I think you're doing that.
You don't want me to move this computer down. You're going to have to censor this on YouTube, so I'm going to keep it
the
up.
Kitchen table, T-Bone? The kitchen table. Your family eats there.
Well, you know what? They shouldn't let me walk around with my pants off. That's their fault. You could have stopped me when I was a child, but no. Here I am, 31 years old. It's worse than ever. And
worse than ever.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast for our 8th divisional breakdown, talking about the NFC South. Thank you for being here, everyone. We love you. And good night. I got nothing else for you. Thank you.
Night.